All right, so Ryan Garcia has spoken out about his arrest, and he's made a couple statements about what happened that night, whether he was drunk or all that stuff. And then you also have a statement from the police as well. So the police have come out and issued their statement about what happened. So bottom line, we've got a lot of new information about the incident itself, Ryan's mind state, so on and so forth, etc. So that's going to be the main story of the night. But before we do that one, there's like a bunch of stories that I actually want to go through really quick here for the episode today. We got Dustin Poirier coming out saying that he is retiring. It seems like he's going to retire. I want to show you that clip and what he said specifically. I think he said something really interesting actually about retirement in general and how he is going to approach retirement, because I think it's actually much smarter than what most guys do. So I want to go over that. And then there's also just some other really funny stuff here, like at random. I don't know if this is real or not, like I have no idea if this is real. Oh, and we have a huge fight announcement, a big title fight that just got announced that I'll tell you about early on in this video. I'll probably start with that actually. We'll lead off with that. But first I got to show you the sponsor of this video, and you don't want to miss this. Now, I just got news about Sheath Underwear that I need to tell you guys, and I'm serious about this. It is Father's Day. Of course, everybody's looking, what am I going to get my dad? What am I going to get my dad? You don't want to know how I choose what products I buy? I choose my products by who else uses those products. And guess what? Sheath Underwear, I'm wearing them, son. It's the official underwear of the UFC. Underneath all the UFC fighters' pants are Sheath Underwear. But guess what? There's one other person that uses Sheath. Guess who is a Sheath user and who would be the most credible underwear person there ever was? Bam, son. Bam. He uses Sheath. So why don't you get on the right team with all of us and order your dad some Sheath Underwear while you're at it? And look at this. Cowboy Cerrone has his own set of Sheath Underwear that you can get also. They've got lady stuff too, so go check it all out. Sheathunderwear.com. Use promo code FIRE for a big discount. That's what's up. Get your dad something nice. Maybe even if you buy it for his wife or your own wife. All right, so I promised I would start with the big fight announcement, and that is Pereira versus Jiri Prochazka in Perth. Let's go. That is a big title fight, and it's coming right on the heels of the Conor and Michael Chandler fight, which is obviously very exciting that is still a go. Thank God. And we are going to have some great fights going on. So anyway, Alex Pereira against Jiri Prochazka is a UFC 305 main event, and that is very, very exciting. Now, let's move over to the Dustin Poirier thing, and I wanted to show you guys a meme that Poirier put up that I thought was really funny. Look at this, dude. So Poirier posted this. Netflix, are you still watching Me and Her? I just think it's so funny because it's Chandler and Poirier. It's anyway, I don't know. I got to laugh out of that. So if you don't, fine. All right, so let's move over to this part of the video where we're going to listen to why Dustin Poirier, in my opinion, is handling a potential retirement much better than anyone I've ever heard of, actually. He also obviously is going to talk about where he stands on whether or not he's going to fight again, but let's listen to that, and then we will discuss.
Close, but I'm never going to just lay my gloves down on the mat like that, because I tell you every time, this could be my last fight. Every one for the past couple of years, I felt like that. But I don't know. And even being this far removed from the fight, I still don't know. I'm kind of looking for clarity, searching myself, and taking it one day at a time. But I don't know. I don't know what's next.
Okay, so that was the obvious follow-up. I'm sure people want to know if you have made a decision. The answer is obviously no.
I still don't know. I still don't know. I can't say I'll never fight again, but I just don't know the reason. What am I going to fight for? To get into a battle. I love that, but man, I've taken some lumps over the years. It has to be for something, and maybe that's something I'll recognize that or realize that in the coming weeks. I don't know, but I'm just taking it one day at a time.
Are you leaning in a direction?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards being done.
Okay. More so than ever?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to predict that is not going to be what happens, but I'm going to talk to you guys more about it after. I want to let him get his whole thought out, but I just preview, I don't think that he's done fighting.
To the point where you...
especially without, like getting the title fight, like how many more times would I need to fight to put myself back in position to fight for the world title? I don't know. And like I said, I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to fight 5 more times trying to earn another title shot. So I don't. I'm in a weird spot. I don't know how to explain it or what decision to make. But I'm just kind of taking it day by day and seeing what comes with my mind changing and just to see how I feel.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop there. There's more. There's a lot more actually. I want to stop right there and just say that he's giving the game away in terms of how to approach him. Now, Dana, Hunter, and these guys, dude, these guys are brilliant with this kind of thing. You obviously know that they're going to want Dustin to fight again, and so how are they going to get him to fight again? So like every other thing in life, they're going to have to sell him on fighting again, okay? And Dustin's interview right here is going to give them all of the ammunition to do that, and let me explain to you exactly what I mean. The whole thing about when you go through like sales training, and trust me, I have a point that I'm going to make with this, but when you go through sales training and there's like the old adage where it's like, sell me this pen. And when you ask someone to sell you something in a sales environment, what you're actually looking for, because almost everyone who doesn't really know how to sell will go, let me tell you about this pen right here, okay? You've seen all kinds of other pens. You've seen the Bics. You've seen the clicky kind. You've seen the kind where you take the top off. None of them have the features that this particular pen has. You can write for 100 hours straight. It'll never run out of ink. You're a kind of guy that looks like you like something sleek. So this is a sleek pen, yada, yada. And in their mind, they're like, I'm killing this, dude. I'm killing it. I just told them exactly why this pen is so much better. And the person who knows what they're doing and is listening, is interviewing you is going, fail, fucking fail. The correct answer is you start asking questions. And you say, so tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you do? Well, I'm in this kind of business and yada, yada, yada. And you go, okay. So how often do you use pens? I use pens periodically, so computers haven't really invaded the way that you do business day to day. I use computers from time to time, but I do have to use a pen for this, and this. Tell me about the problems that you have with pens. Like, are there any issues that you have, that consistently are an issue for you? Yeah. A lot of times I can't fucking find it. My main problem is I can't find the goddamn pen. I want a pen. It's never fucking there. And then what else? Well, I don't really like how these ones draw, or write, whatever. And you're like, okay, great. Okay, you've already got the job. You don't even need to finish. That's it. You don't even need to finish the rest of your interview answer, okay? This should probably be one of the most valuable pieces of information that anyone has ever given you in a YouTube video if you are in sales and did not know that. Because this applies to everything, no matter what kind of sales job you're going into. A lot of times for big enterprise software sales jobs, they'll have you build a really big deck, right? They're like, here's all this information, build a big deck, and then now you're going to present to all the executives, okay? And most people go in there and they fumble through this deck that they built, and they're trying to just talk about the features and functions of some big complex piece of enterprise software that they don't expect you to understand. And the whole time they're like, all right. And people are like, yeah, I think I did really well. It's like, no, you didn't. Okay. The only reason that you're building the deck is to give you a baseline so you can start asking the executive questions that apply to the features and functions so you can sell it to them. So in the case of the pen, you would come back and go, listen, so this pen right here has a specialized feature where it has a beeping sound, so you'll be able to find it, yada, yada. They don't care if the pen really has it. You're showing that you understand how to ask questions and then tailor your sales pitch to what they actually care about, all right? So in Dustin's case, he has made it crystal clear. He didn't mention money. He's talking about the title. And so the UFC, if they want him to fight again, they come to him, they give him a big fight. Money's always money. You can always, listen, man, we're going to offer you this amount of money. And that's a big motivator, obviously. Talk to him about what he knows he cares about. Listen, I know you're set for life, but like, you're talking about generational here. If you're going to make $6 million for this fight. I guarantee you that what that $6 million turns into for your grandkids is going to matter. That's going to matter to Dustin. But again, what he cares about is the title. Give him a clear path to the title that does not include 5 fights. And that gets him back in the octagon. He's giving them the blueprint about what he cares about because he's a superstar. All of us want to see him fight again. So I'm really glad that he gave this interview because now they're going to have a really easy job in getting him back in the octagon. He's banged up right now. You know what I mean? Like, he's banged up. Of course, he's like, man, I'm leaning towards no. Dude, he's got broken rib, I think, torn ACL. I think he broke his nose less than 2 weeks ago. Hey, you feel like fighting again? He's like, not really. You know what I mean? I have a torn ACL. My ribs broke. You know what I mean? Like, of course he doesn't feel like it. He's going to get the itch and he'll be, but he also spoke specifically about big fights right here. So this is another part of this interview that I thought was really important to note also. So here's him talking about what if it was like What if it was Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor, so on and so forth?
The allure of big time fights, I know they're not for belts, so to speak, but like maybe a Diaz fight or a Conor fight or so, like this doesn't appeal to you. It's just all about the belt. Money fights, fun fights. It's just all you wanted that.
I wanted the belt, but I got to see how I feel. Like talking about those things is not exciting to me. But if my phone rang right now and it was Hunter and he said, "Hey, this fight, maybe I got to see how I feel when it's offered to me." That's how I know what decision to make. Right? Talking about it, nothing seems attractive to me.
Do you think they will call you at some point with something?
No clue, man.
Hey, I'll go ahead and take that one. Was that a question? Because the answer is as certain as gravity exists, they're going to call Dustin Poirier with a fight. That is an absolute certainty. And now, also, one thing that we have not even thrown out there is that the BMF belt exists, okay? The BMF belt exists. And so that is a title, and who is more deserving of the BMF belt than that guy, right? It's like a cheat code. Dude, the BMF belt is one of the most brilliant things that have ever been put out there. I know people don't like, well, the BMF belt's kind of dumb. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because it gives them the ability to belt someone, give them back-end pay-per-view points, make them the champion of some kind when they haven't necessarily earned a title fight at their weight class. They're superstars. That's the requirement. They need to be savage and they need to be popular. There you go. Dustin Poirier is both of those things. BMF title fight makes all the sense in the world. And then this one, like I said, is this real? Is this real? What is this? Right? I don't know. I have no idea. I just wanted to show it to you. I don't know. Okay. So here's the thing. Now let's get over to the Ryan Garcia story, right? So John Bones Jones just pointed out that it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Make sure you take the time out to encourage a homie. So clearly that is definitely, I don't know, a notable fact going into this Ryan Garcia story, because that does seem to be what he is dealing with. I will acknowledge, dude, I've been all over the place with Ryan Garcia. I thought it was an act because he was so crazy leading up to the Devin Haney fight. And then he got me, man. Like when he went on Value Tame, he was so calm, so put together. And I'm like, there's no way that the guy that's that crazy could do an interview like this. Like he must have been juking it, but apparently not, according to his team. So let's get into that story now. I want to tell you guys what the police said, and then I'll show you what Ryan Garcia's team said. We'll talk about that. So, all right. So the Beverly Hills police issue a statement following Ryan Garcia's arrest for felony vandalism. All right. So it's, as we all know, Ryan Garcia, controversial figure in the recent months from his performance, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So in case you guys are not clear on what happened, the story essentially is that he was causing problems in the Waldorf Astoria in Beverly Hills. If you don't know that hotel, like if you've never heard the Waldorf, that is a very expensive, incredibly swanky hotel. Matter of fact, just for shits and gigs, let's just go ahead and go on hotels.com and let's take a look at what it would cost to go to the Waldorf in Beverly Hills tonight. Okay, so all right, we're going there for 2 nights, $2, 1 room. Let's just see what the rate is, because I'm gonna. Oh, all right, cool. So, you guys can't see that. Whoop, $1,300 a night. $1,300 a night. All right. So let's see what would happen if I wanted to upgrade my room, because I'm sure that Ryan probably gets an upgraded room. So if we go down here and we're taking a look at what the options are for our rooms, we've got a, they're sold out. Oh man. So, they're all sold out. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. So, $7,000 if you wanted a suite. $7,000 a night. $7,000 a night if you wanted a suite. All right. So that's what that is. That's what kind of place this joint is. All right. We're talking about like the swankiest of the swanky. So it's notable because people don't dick around in places like that. Right. So he broke some stuff. He had caused problems there before. And so the hotel called the police and they were like, we want him arrested this time. Now, when he got arrested, obviously he had not obviously, but in the video, he had a headgear on, which everybody was talking about. Well, why is he wearing a headgear? Now, the hypothesis was that he didn't want people to see his face, and so they put a headgear on. I'm not buying that, dude, and I'll tell you why. If they were going to let him do something in order to not be Ryan Garcia on his way out from getting arrested, they would let him put a shirt on, and then they would let him put a sweatshirt on that he could put a hood on. Okay, I think he was wearing the headgear, which makes me think that what he was doing in the place while being wasted is he probably put the headgear on and was using his body as like a human torpedo or something, you know? Like, you have to fuck around pretty big to get arrested if you're Ryan Garcia at the fucking Waldorf, right? Like, they know he has ridiculous money. He's a very valuable client. So he had to be acting really outlandish, and him wearing the headgear, my brain, like, I don't know, maybe I've been around a lot of young, dumb idiots that are drunk, like more than a lot of people, but I see the headgear, that's instantly my brain goes, oh yeah, he's probably throwing himself into stuff with a headgear on, you know? Anyway, so here is the statement from the cops. All right. So it says on June 8th, 2024 at approximately 5:15 p.m. Wow. It was in the afternoon. It was like early evening. So they'd been drinking all day. Beverly Hills Police Department responded to 98, Waldorf Astoria for an intoxicated person call for service. Beverly Hills Police said in a statement sent to MMA Fighting, during the investigation, the intoxicated person was identified as Ryan Garcia. Upon obtaining statements from the hotel management, it was determined that Mr. Garcia was a registered guest of the hotel and had caused damage to a guest room and the hallway of the hotel. Hotel management requested the arrest of Mr. Garcia for property damage. Ryan Garcia, 25-year-old from Porter Ranch, felony vandalism. Okay, so this actually doesn't really tell us anything that we didn't know, the police statement, but the Ryan Garcia's team statement does. Again, you got to think about how this happens. Okay, so if he trashed his room and then trashed the thing, that means that people on that hallway called downstairs and they were like, this is insane. Someone's screaming and destroying stuff. And again, I guarantee he was in an upgraded room. If you're Ryan Garcia and you have money like him, why would you be staying in a base level room? You've got a suite and you're there with your boys. So these are the other people in that hallway are paying $5,000 to $7,000 a night. Okay, if you pay $5,000 to $7,000 a night, you're not putting up with any bullshit. I'll tell you that right now. You are not putting up with any bullshit. You hold the hotel to a much higher standard if you pay a lot of money. Okay, so that I guarantee is how that shook out. Okay, so Ryan Garcia speaks out after being hospitalized following the arrest at the Beverly Hills Hotel. So this is very telling, in my opinion, about what's going on here. So Ryan Garcia, in a statement issued by a publicist, spoke out a day after he was arrested and a charge of felony vandalism at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in Beverly Hills, California. After the arrest, the 25-year-old boxer was transported to a local hospital for medical care, according to the statement provided by the police. Here's what Ryan said. Y'all know I've been dealing with incredible stress, pressure, and now the devastating news of my mom's health. His mom has breast cancer. Garcia said in a statement issued Sunday by a publicist. Garcia's mother, Lisa, disclosed last week she's been diagnosed with breast cancer during what has been a turbulent time for the boxer. He's facing a possible suspension after testing positive for a banned substance in the day before and the day of his April 20th fight against Devin Haney. Garcia's legal team blamed the positive test on contaminated supplements. During several weeks leading up to his fight against Haney, Garcia exhibited erratic behavior and then pulled off a significant upset. Ryan has been open about, this is another quote from his publicist, Ryan's been open about his struggles with mental health over the years, and at this time he is dealing with an immense emotional burden. The support and understanding from fans and the public are crucial as he navigates his personal challenges. We are working diligently to provide Ryan with the resources he needs. Our team is committed to ensuring that he receives the appropriate help and care to address both his immediate and long-term well-being. He also, in 2021, withdrew from a bout and said, at this point, it is important to manage my health and well-being. In my darkest times, not even my mother could help me. He told reporters that he wanted to put himself down. Man, dude. He said there was a statement issued on Garcia's. It's always love. Thanks to my fans who always support me. Love and compassion always wins. Okay, so here's the thing, dude. First of all, I got a comment yesterday from dude, a dude, like solid guy normally in my comments who's like, everybody knows breast cancer is not that serious. So this is like a stupid excuse. No one dies from breast cancer. This is ridiculous. And I'm like, my grandma died from breast cancer. You got the wrong creator for that conversation, good sir, because my grandma died of breast cancer. Straight up, did all the stuff that you do. So she wasn't 90, she wasn't 90 years old when it happened. This is a long time, or I mean, not that long ago, but like there have been no like huge developments in modern medicine since this happened. And she got breast cancer. She died. She got, she did a double mastectomy, still died. So I don't know what he was talking about. And I only say this in response to the comment. I am in no way trying to throw that energy in any way in the direction of Ryan Garcia. I'm just saying it's super serious that she has breast cancer. It's very, very serious. And, but at the same time, I don't like when people conjure up things like that to blame their bad behavior on. You know what I mean? It's like, look, dude, okay, if this was the first time, that something like this had happened, I'd be like, look, the guy's going through a lot. But it's not, it's not. And so my issue with him before, when he was like, he's conjuring up a lot of religion, and now he's using his mom's cancer diagnosis as kind of like an excuse for this. I don't like it, dude. I don't like that at all. I really don't. I don't. Because bottom line is, you're a grown up, and whether you're going through a lot or you're not, right? It's like, you didn't do this because your mom got diagnosed with breast cancer. You did this because you like to party and you've been very open about this, right? So like, it's one of those things where at least, I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful here because I'm saying that is a really big deal and I'm sure he is going through a lot. I just don't like it being used as an excuse for bad behavior that you've been doing previously. It's like cheap, you know what I mean? It's like, what's the right way to put this? Perfect example, actually. If a kid misses school and they're like, my grandma died, and it's a lie, don't do that, dude. Don't do that. Don't put that energy out into the world. Okay? Your grandma didn't die. That is terrible juju. Put that out there, dude. So I don't know. I don't buy that kind of thing. I remember when the first time that I went through a bout of pills, I was, this is so long ago, dude. This is like when the first time that I got hooked on Norcos was when I was first out of college, like just out of college, first year. It was like, I was in college and I was like everybody else, like I like to drink. It's like, oh dude, somebody got Vicodin because they got their wisdom teeth out. I'm like, cool, let me get them. And I'd get like 7 at a time. And so I'd have like an amazing weekend, but I could never, I never had like a consistent source for them. So it was never an issue. I didn't realize how dangerous these things were because there was no way for me to get enough to get hooked on them. As soon as I got out of college and I had money, this guy I lived with, who's now dead, actually. He overdosed 3.5 years ago. So he had already had a major oxy problem before I was even friends with him. And then you wouldn't know looking at the guy. He was like, he was really athletic, like boxer guy. But I ended up living with him and he knew all these tricks to get pills. And so I had a consistent source for Norcos because you used to be able to get them online. Like you could just talk to a doctor. Oh yeah, my back hurts. And they're all right, 90 Norcos a month. Literally. And they cost I think the prescription was like maybe $190. Okay. 90 pills, $190. They're $2 a Norco. You have any idea how much those fucking things cost now? Or actually, I don't know what they cost now, but what they cost like much later. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. There were a lot of sites that did it. So you could do that as many times as you want. You could get 500 of them a month if you wanted to. You could get unlimited amount. You could do them through your boy. You just pay him, whatever. So like you could have unlimited source of Norcos. And you find out pretty quick that if you are wired to like them and you have an unlimited number of them, you're going to get hooked on them. Bottom line. First time I got hooked on them was back then. I was probably 25. Actually, I was 25. And I remember like going into when I was going to quit, when I knew I was like, holy shit, I'm fucking completely out of control. How did this happen? Like snuck up on me. I remember like talking to certain people and being like, my parents are going through a divorce. And I said that knowing it was bullshit at the time, you know? Like, I remember knowingly being like, yeah, you know, my parents are getting divorced, kind of hard on me. Now, keep in mind, this is the sniveling drug addict version of myself, okay? I don't know if I've told this particular story recently, but I remember the very first time when I kicked, I forced myself into a situation where I couldn't get more, right? I did all this research. I had never gone cold turkey before. I had no idea what I was in for whatsoever. And I researched and looked and saw it was like, all right, so this is going to take about 3 to 4 days. And I'm like, I can do anything for 3 to 4 days. I can suffer through fucking anything. And so I set it up to where if I pussied out and I went and did the thing online, they would not get to me in time. Like, it would be like, it would take another 2 days for them to get to me. It would already be over. There's no way for me to get more. I have no choice. It's like, you know, like someone who like handcuffs themselves inside of a room and they tell their friend, they're like, don't let me out under any circumstances, that kind of shit. Right. So it was fucking hell on earth. It was 100 times worse than I expected, but I got through it. And as soon as it was over, like the second, it's so crazy for me. It's every time that I did that, like, it was like, oh, you know, oh my God, I'm dying. And then it was like, I think it's letting up a little bit. And then like all at once it's over. Like, it's like you walk over a finish line and it's completely over. And for me, it's like my brain went like this, whoosh, like it had been like chained up and they just went bang. And every time I said the same thing, I'm like, I forgot who I was. I said that every time. I was like, I cannot believe it. I forgot who I was. Cause I was a different person. Like, I was literally a different person, a completely different person. And as soon as, you know, the real version of me came out, and that's the kind of thing that I would think back on and be like, I cannot fucking believe I did that. I told people it's because my parents got divorced. What kind of sniveling pussy am I when I'm all pilled up, dude? That's something I would never fucking do that. I would never do that. I would have never done this with that girl. I would have never done any of those things. You know, that guy's a fucking pussy, man. So anyway, I'm just saying, I don't love when people use things like this as an excuse, but I am hoping that Ryan gets through it as well as he can. I'm definitely rooting for a great outcome for his mom. I don't mean to be disrespectful at all. I'm just saying, you're still responsible for yourself, dude. I was your age at this exact time, so I've got a little bit of wisdom under my belt, dude. Anyway, that's what I got. Love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. Bye.